Well, after being impeached twice,
It's true.
thousands of indictments, including being personally sued, finally someone heard.
What?
The Colorado State Supreme Court steps up and bans Donald Trump from the ballot in 24.
What the fuck?
Basically telling him,
Go fuck yourself.
yeah, because that's not election interference or anything.
Bullshit.
I'm Jazz Borgonzo, and this
That's fucked up, man.
is What's Next. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, I am your humble host, Jazz Borgonzo. Another episode of What's Next, your daily dose. Of course, this is Thursday. Well, like I said in the beginning of this intro, my intro, impeached twice, multiple indictments, personally sued of his assets, and yet they can't take the man down. So finally, a court steps up and says, yeah, we're not going to have none of you. Colorado State Supreme Court steps up and bans Donald Trump from the ballot in 24. We know this will be challenged. We know this will be appealed. There's only one place left to go, and that's the Supreme Court. And here we go. This comes out of the blaze. Colorado Supreme Court rules that Trump is disqualified from state's ballot over insurrection incident. Yes, over the J6ers. Yeah, bud, you're banned. Colorado Supreme Court overturned a lower court ruling on Tuesday. Yes, there was a lower court ruling. Said that former President Donald Trump was disqualified from appearing on the state's ballot over his incitement of insurrection. However, the court allowed time for the former president to file an appeal because, of course, they had to, by staying the effect of its ruling until January 4th. Why didn't they just pick January 6th? Objections to Trump's presidential campaign are based on a provision found in the 14th Amendment. Yes, they had to find something, dig for something in the 14th Amendment of the Constitution that says anyone, quote, who's engaged in insurrection or rebellion after making an oath of office would be barred from serving as president. Wow. They didn't make this up. They pulled this out of the 14th Amendment. Trump's attorneys have argued that he did not participate in inciting an insurrection, and also the provision did not apply to their client. Stephen Chung, a spokesman for the Trump campaign, released a statement criticizing the ruling. The Colorado Supreme Court issued a completely flawed decision tonight, and we will swiftly file an appeal to the United States Supreme Court and concurrent request for a stay of this deeply undemocratic decision. We're not a democracy. We're a republic. Reads the statement in part. We have full confidence that the U.S. Supreme Court will quickly rule in our favor and finally put an end to these un-American lawsuits. That's where it's going to have to end. Excuse me. In November, Colorado District Court Judge Sarah Wallace ruled against the effort to ban him from the ballot despite finding that he had indeed engaged in insurrection. She said, yes, you did, but I'm not going to rule against you. Quote, the court finds that the petitioners have established that the Trump engaged in insurrection on January 6th and 21 through incitement, and that the First Amendment does not protect Trump's speech, said Wallace in the 102-page decision. Wow. The court holds that the scant direct evidence regarding whether the presidency is one of the positions subject to disqualification, she added. A similar lawsuit failed in Michigan, but litigants said they would appeal there as well. As those of you know, I've said on my videos multiple times that there are things about Trump I loved. I loved when he went to North Korea. I loved when he moved the embassy, from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem. I loved that he sent a message to Syria by dropping a Moab on them. I love how no wars were committed under his presidency. I love how the economy flourished under him. Lowest unemployment, blacks, women, people overall. What I didn't like. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, his crowning achievement, of course, getting 3 judges in the Supreme Court and finally doing what he said he was going to do when he ran, overturn Roe v. Wade. That was a true blessing. But, of course, the big 800-pound gorilla in the room was COVID and how he handled it. How he mishandled it by handing off to Fauci and Burke. How he pushed forth the lockdowns, going after certain governors who corrected themselves and fixed themselves in regard to how they handled COVID and lockdowns by slamming them. Praising the vaccine. Remember when he had the president of Johnson & Johnson on stage with him at one of the rallies, praising him? And that was one of the vaccines, that Moderna, and of course, the infamous Pfizer. And yet, to this day, still takes no accountability nor responsibility when it comes to how he handled 2020. That's a problem for me. That's a huge problem. But regarding this situation with Colorado State Supreme Court, it's bullshit. It's absolute bullshit. It is election interference, and quote unquote, it is undemocratic by living in a republic society. As soon as I got word of this, I automatically was going, yeah, it's going to Supreme Court. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The second this thing dropped, his attorneys filed an appeal just like that. And rightly so. And everyone has said it, that if any state steps up and does something this egregious, it's going to the Supreme Court and they will have the final decision. So it's going to be very, very interesting, because you got those on one side saying, well, Trump got 3 of his in, so it's going to be good for him. And then you have others saying, Roberts and the other 4 could make a stink, could make it problematic for him. To me, at the end, it's simple, is that until he is formally charged and ruled that one of these indictments stick, that's how they're going to look at it, and they're going to rule in favor. In my opinion, they're going to rule in favor of Trump and overturn this ruling by the Colorado State Supreme Court. But it's going to be interesting. And with that being said, I'm Jazz Berganzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more like it? Please leave a comment below. Like it, share it, subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss a thing. And we'll see you next time. Peace.